Are you ready to hear my new top 5 updated post-draft power rankings?
Yes and no.
All right. Well, nothing new at the number 1 spot. I hate saying this as a Cowboy fan, but yes, I still have the Philadelphia Eagles at number 1. What I think, makes them the number 1 team right now is they can control the line of scrimmage on both offense and defense. They have a great offensive line, and their defensive line was already great, but they got better. And because of that, they're going to be able to control the run like they did last year. Carson Wentz is coming back, and Carson Wentz, I hate saying it, but hey, I give credit when it's due. He's a special player. They didn't lose too many of the core players. I know their draft was somewhat, but that's what happens whenever you're the best team, and you don't get the number 1 or you don't get the top 10 pick unless you traded for it before. They didn't need to draft anything special. They didn't have many needs. And so, to me, they're still at the top.
Is that hard to say?
Yes, it was.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I mean, you're like choking up a little bit having to say that.
You know what? It's going to be tough facing them, but, I believe in my boys, and we're going to make a fight.
Okay.
All right. So, number 2, again, nothing new. I have the LA Rams at number 2.
Well, you crazy.
Well, you can call me crazy, but, I'm a big defensive guy, and this is going to be one of the better defensive teams. You add Sue to that defensive line with Aaron Donald, and right there you have one of the scariest defensive line, almost as scary as the Eagles. They only had 2 players. The Eagles have multiple players, but they also added Marcus Peters and Aqib Talib to that secondary. And so it's going to be tough to run against them. It's also going to be tough to pass. So they're going to have an elite defense, and they have a young offense, and they've shown what they can do last year. And so I see them continuing with that success on offense.
Well, I ain't got nothing to say about this number 2 Rams.
Well, me and you in the same boat. I know that team is in your division, and I feel sorry for your team. At least my team has a fighting chance.
Your team has a fighting chance?
Yeah.
Against the Eagles?
Yeah.
Super Bowl champs?
Hey,
really?
I can admit they're a better team, but I'm not going to say they're going to go undefeated or they're going to sweep my team.
We will see.
Yeah. All right, so now I have a change in my top 5. And yeah, guess who number 3 is?
Oh, Brady?
Yep. I have the Patriots moving up from number 5 to number 3. I don't care what people say. Brady is still playing at a high level. I think, he has to drop off. He's getting older.
There you go with the age again.
Yeah, we're talking about Brady here.
Still.
This is not Matthew Stafford. Brady, you got Brian Belichick. And they added, key players to the offense and defense to keep Brady having weapons to throw to, and then having the defense to, not give up many points. And so, overall, they had the number 1 offense in yards, number 2 in points, and they had the number 5 defense in points allowed. And so, they're 13-3. I think they're still going to be up there in the, competing for a conference champion and maybe another Super Bowl.
Another Super Bowl for the Patriots?
We'll see. Obviously, injuries.
Records breaking.
Obviously, injuries can happen.
Yep.
Trades can happen. But, Brady, he might not be in the MVP conversation, but he will be good enough to, take care of business.
Right on.
All right, so another change, and I have the Vikings. We just got done talking about them.
Nope.
They went from the number 5 to number 4. Sorry, I had the Patriots at number 4, now the number 3. I have the Vikings at number 5, and now the number 4. Like I said, nothing much to say. We just spoke about them. They got Kirk Cousins. I believe he will keep that, that success going, and they have elite defense. So I had Jacksonville at number 3. pre-draft. I have him moving down all the way to number 5. I think overall Vikings are just or a better team, and I might have had Jacksonville prematurely too high. They probably would have been, below the Vikings, and I probably should have had them there. But I think right here is their correct spot. They have elite defense. They had the number 1 rushing offense last year, and I know they beef up their offensive line, so the rushing attack should still be there. Despite them losing Allen Robinson and Allen Hurns, they still added some young receivers. They added some tight end help, and they have the receivers that they mainly used last year. The receivers that they lost, they were injured last year, and they really didn't get a chance to use them. And so Blake Bortles, who I think, that despite him getting that new record deal, he's a above average quarterback, but he has a good connection with the receivers that he has now. And so, they were 10-6 last year. I see them increasing the wins this year.
No complaints.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
All right. Hey guys, thank you again for tuning in to our YouTube segment. For next week, we're going to talk about the NFC South Division and the next top 5 teams that I have on my updated power rankings. Thank you all again, and we'll see y'all soon.